Hey there, Divine Masculines. Thank you so much for clicking on to the flow right here on YouTube. This is, of course, going to be a general reading for all of my Divine Masculines. So if you're new here, please note that when I say that, we all have Divine Feminine and Masculine energy within us. This video is solely intended for those of us who identify as mostly masculine, more masculine than feminine. So note that everybody is welcome to watch this video, and inherently all of us have masculine at the end of the day. So you might find some messages in here which apply to you, even if you do not fully apply or identify as a divine masculine. I am AZMARi. If you are new here, Karibu Sana. This is a space where we grow together, we sow together, and we move on purpose for the sole reason of becoming the best versions of ourselves. If you're new here, I just said that. Deja vu. Maybe that's something you could be going through, or I feel like this thing, like a repetitive loop. You might be feeling like, your life has been like on loop, and you're like, who keeps hitting the repeat button? Make it stop. Yeah, and when I said that, I heard the verse that I did on my song called Sleeping Beauty of my self-titled track album called Sleeping Beauty. Mercury retrograde is upon us soon, so words stumbling. Maybe a few of you divine masculines as well, like feel like you've been on a loop of a cycle of life, and you probably want to communicate to a divine feminine and you're not so sure what to say. I feel like this is a repeat of the energy. Like this was the same energy you guys were feeling the last time that I did your reading. Another download that I got, so when I spoke to the divine feminines, there was this energy of like breaking generational curses. If you've watched like Tangled, I'm an animation buff. I love animation. I feel like cartoons just have the best spiritual messages if you pay attention. And so I recommended in the Divine Feminine description box that they watch the movie Tangled. And so for you, I'm feeling a similar energy, but when it's referring to the loop type of energy, I would say the movie that would fit most with your energy right now is the movie Free Guy. So I'm gonna link that as well in the description box for those of you who may be interested in watching, because that movie may have messages for you with regards to your life. But what I mean by that movie specifically, and why I'm bringing it up, is because in that movie Free Guy, there was this guy who like literally just woke up every day, went to work, did the same thing. Like his life was boring, but he was okay with that boring life because that was the life he was programmed to, just like and be used to, as we all are programmed, to do and be certain things. And so without giving too much away of the movie, how he found the meaning to life was by uniting with his divine feminine. So you may want to watch the divine feminine video, because I'm very sure that it has messages for you. And it's interesting because your background energy right here is the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I hope you can see that properly. Sorry for the glare. So I feel like a lot of you are learning that generationally you have really just sabotaged the feminine aspect of you. Even before I started the reading and I was meditating on your energy, I just got this whole thing for like the masculine collective is waking up to the fact that it's okay to have feminine aspects. It's okay to ground in the feminine sometimes. If you need to cry, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be emotional. And the right thing is being able to find a soul tribe that supports that doesn't put you down and, promote toxic masculinity by telling you you're not being a man, by being an emotional person. Anybody that shames you for purging and for releasing and being your true self doesn't belong around you. That's just the truth of the situation. For others of you, because of this suppressing of your emotions, you may have then outwardly manifested that by, ending up backstabbing, a feminine energy that you truly loved, because, hurt people. Like, I feel like this is again a broken tape that just keeps rewinding, or a broken record that just keeps rewinding. And I posted this on my Instagram the other day, that I truly pray for everybody who's in the cycle of parenting, where they were bullied by their parents, and then because of the result of that bullying, they ended up bullying their children, and then that wide scale bullying went overboard because these kids go to school and then they go bully other kids. You know what I mean? It's just a dreadful cycle. But I feel like you are starting to really identify and to see that, like, you know what, when I decide to tune into that femininity of mine and decide to actually face the emotions that I repress within, and I'm getting this thing for, like, the repression is like through different forms. Some of you, might be aggressive, and you're not really aggressive people, like fighting for no reason, and that's just the anger and the pain that needs to get out somehow. And so if you compare, fighting and crying, I think crying is way better, even if you have to do it alone in your room. In fact, that's the best way. I believe that healing should be an individual journey, and then whenever you find people along the path who can hold your hand and encourage you to do so, do that, man, do that. So here we are again. Also, I feel like you may be around like a friend circle that knows, like, that you're in this zone where you're like, okay, I feel like I'm in this crazy loop, and I feel like I backstabbed somebody that actually really cared about me and really showed me myself. I feel like you hurt somebody because you were hurt and you were too proud to admit it. Ego, ego. You got a big ego. Such a big ego. So yeah, but your friends are like, okay, listen, you need to be man enough and just take the L's where you took L's, or where you messed up, and go for your bliss, because you are realizing that pain that you held within, that you ended up projecting to other people, was because of you not following your bliss. And so I'm getting that some of you have like a circle, like you may have 3 friends specifically, who are like really, really tight. You guys are really close, and they want to see the best for you. And that's beautiful to see that you actually have people in your life who want the best for you, and they are leading you to go towards your bliss and to go towards your happiness, right? For others of you, though, there may be a small portion of you, though, that are realizing that there were some of your friends, that you thought that you were really close to, and they ended up backstabbing you because they saw that you were in a vulnerable space, and you pushed away probably a queen of cups who made you happy and ended up backstabbing her, right? So just take the energy how it resonates, or backstabbing him. Note that even if I'm showing you a female card, this could be another man who is just in their feminine energy, because this is for everybody, yeah. Rock your body. Some of you might really like Backstreet Boys, or might be a 90s baby. Hala, that just came up. So here we are. A lot of you are breaking free of the illusions that were put on you by your family members, by institutions, because for me, this is my institutional card. It's also my God card. So I feel like a lot of you have been really intensely trying to do the best that you can to seek God and universe, in whatever you call that creator spirit that we all revere, that we know gave us life and created everything that is. So that creator is showing you all the ways that you put your faith in things that were fleeting, and so you are breaking free of all the illusions and you're not confused anymore, because I'm getting this energy of that you were in this loop because you were confused, and the loop only stops when you break free of the confusion, right? When you decide to stand up for yourself in your logical energy. Yes, you are masculine, but you can be masculine and have an overflowing cup. Look at that. How beautiful is that? You can be logical and you can still be loving. That's that true balance that I was speaking about, not only in your last video, but also in the Divine Feminine video. And I feel like it's beautiful because each, gender aspect is working on the places in which they know that there's imbalance. Hala, Libra full moon, bringing harmony to everybody, which is very beautiful energy to see, because I know this struggle was not an easy one, and let me tell you, nothing good comes easy. So this is something that's worth it. You're willing to fight for something that you know is something worth fighting for, because you recognize God in somebody and somebody recognizes God in you. And I keep saying God is love. And so you are choosing to go for your bliss. You are choosing to, some of you, have been denying that, like, you want a happy home and you want to get married and you want the kids and the 401k, all of that stuff, retirement benefits, someone to grow old with. But you're, coming to a space where you're like, okay, let me not lie to myself. I really do want this. I want a life partner. I want a family. I want, somebody who just goes for what they want as I do, and so you're choosing to fight for what you believe in. You may have been in this space where, you were in this like 5 of Pentacles energy, which also came out, for the Divine Feminine, where you may have been dealing with injuries, either physical, but for me, what this is, I'm feeling the most for this collective is that these are ancestral wounds that people are clearing, and you're deciding to defend, yourself to whether it's your family who don't approve of your decisions. You're like, it's my decision, it's my life. If I'm deciding to marry a person, I'm the one who has to sleep in the same bed as them every single day, not you, and so you're choosing to stand up for yourself, for what makes you happy, for your bliss, because of breaking those generational curses where you probably came from broken homes. You probably watched your parents, even if they may still be married, like not necessarily love each other. They're just probably staying together for the children, you know what I mean? And so because you know that you have come across a situation where it's the complete opposite, because you know that that specific person has worked through their own traumas and you've worked through your own traumas, this is something that you're willing to fight for to the death, like, fine, I may have a 5 of Pentacles, I may not have everything, and also you may feel like you may not have everything, but let's bring it together, and together we have a 10 of Pentacles. And for me, 10 of Pentacles is that generational wealth. Like, son, you doing good, I'm proud of you. I'm hearing that song, I'm proud, is it called I'm Proud of You? No, it's called Proud of You by Drake and Nicki Minaj, which is interesting because that shows the dynamic of like how the divine masculine and the divine feminine are coming together, and they're able to tell each other, I'm proud of you, you've done good, look at you sis, look at you bro, yeah, I really love this energy. It's amazing. What more is there to say? Like, there's just, as we continue on in the reading, this is you fully standing in your masculine power. You're like, you know what? I'm the king of my castle. It doesn't matter what anybody says. For a lot of you, you may be self-employed or transitioning into self-employment, transitioning into doing what you love for a living, right? And that's your justice, because, a lot of a lot of us grew up knowing that like you can't do what you love. And it's really interesting because the movie that I mentioned in the beginning was this guy who had to work at a bank day in, day in, day out, and he was so bored, you know. And so maybe for a lot of you, maybe some of you might be, you know, a banker, or you might have that type of like boring, stereotypical like type of job, just to please the family. But you're realizing that what you really want out of life is to just be happy, and life is short. So why spend it making other people happy while you spend your life miserable? It makes no sense. And so Archangel Michael is like, please listen to your inner child. Please listen to the younger version of you that had dreams to become an astronaut, that had dreams to become, you know, the next Bill Gates. Whatever it is that you dreamed when you were a child. You see, this little fish is coming here to like remind, and the fish for me is like it represents our imagination. So you remember the way like when you were a kid you had like an imaginary friend? I still have my imaginary friend right here, Pegasus, right? I had a unicorn imaginary friend, and if you ask me, I don't think she was imaginary, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, so this is you just deciding to, you know, a lot of you may be really prayerful. You might really, you know, tune into angelic energies to help you along your path. But whatever this is, regardless of whether you don't, I know that you are on the path spiritually in some way, shape, or form, you know, and it's working, whatever you're doing. It's leading you to the right path. So even if you're not already in the energy that I'm talking about, this soulversation means that your soul is calling you to it because it knows that this is where you want to go. It's where you want to be, right? Oh gosh, so I'm being led to, you know, also share more lyrics. So with that, there's another song of mine called Legacy, where I go, this is me, this is me, this is where I wanna be, trying to plant that money tree so the children they could see, they could see you could do anything and be anything. To conform is the norm. Are you ready for the storm? Man, I've been waiting too long. Spread the message with my songs. Wait, love lives here, my dear. You see? So here we are. You taking a risk to do what you love. When you take a risk, fortune favors the bold, my friend. At first, there may be tornadoes and monsters and dragons and warlocks and everything trying to, you know, pull you away from your destiny. But let me tell you, when you continue on that path and stay focused, things change. Things change, my friend. Have continued faith. I'm also being led to tell you this, that if you haven't listened to my latest podcast episode, Real Recognizes Real, you might want to listen to it. It has messages for you there. So ending your reading is you deciding to take a risk. You're like, fuck it. I don't care what anybody thinks. And it's really cool because the divine feminine also got this energy. Like, let me have the balls to follow my soul, you know, let my soul guide, because your soul is super loyal to you. You know, it's like the way, you know, a dog is like your best friend. Some of you may have a dog, you know, but like you're just deciding to be like, you know what, society or my family may be telling me I don't have enough money to do this, or I don't have, but that's the thing, like money isn't wealth, right? Wealth is a whole other different paradigm, and we'll talk about that in another time and space. But the key of what this messaging here is, and what your soul wants you to know, is that regardless, that when you take this risk, magic happens. Magic. And I'm just gonna leave it there, right? With another song also. I've got the magic in me. Every time I turn into gold. I think that's B.O.B., right? Excuse me for not remembering the lyrics. It's from a while ago. But I'm going to link all of those amazing songs. They all have messages for you. And I love this energy for you guys, Divine Masculine. Keep on keeping on. You are a winner, regardless of what anybody says. Don't let anybody talk you down, please. If they're talking you down, it means that they're down themselves and they're trying to bring you down with them. So stay up, up, up. If it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. Peace out, Divine Masculine. If you want to check out any of my offerings, they're down in the description box. Sending you so much love and so much light. Namaste.